Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Melanie Sims, Chief of Protocol. Thank you for joining us here today as we welcome our esteemed government delegation from the Republic of Honduras. We have a very short time frame to work with, so we beg your indulgence as we allow our panel to offer a few words, and then we'll go from there. I would love to introduce our guests this afternoon. The Honorable Juan Hernando Hernandez, President of the Republic of Honduras, and he's joined by his Minister of Economic Development, the Honorable Hernando Castillo. As you can see, my Spanish is a little bit rusty, so bear with me. And I'd also like to welcome our Premier of the Cayman Islands, the Honorable Alden McLaughlin, and the Deputy Premier of the Cayman Islands, the Honorable Moses Kirkerno. Premier, I'll offer you the floor.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming on relatively short notice. We know it's been a bit difficult to get everything nailed down in terms of time, so please forgive us. But we are delighted as the government of the Cayman Islands to welcome President Juan Hernandez of the Republic of Honduras and his delegation to Cayman for the first time. And along with him, as part of the delegation, our Secretary of State for Investment, Luis Mata, and Secretary of State for Economic Development, Arnaldo Castillo, Mr. Adalberto de Coya, Business Air Transportation, and his aide-de-camp, Tenel Tulio Romero Palacios. We've had a very productive morning discussing a range of issues. The entire elected members of the entire cabinet made up of the elected members, and my councillors were there. We discussed a range of issues involving air transportation, the further role that Cayman Airways can possibly play in providing increased airlift into Roatan, La Ceiba, and perhaps other cities in the Republic of Honduras. We discussed issues of trade, improving trade, and the opportunities which seem available for there to be the direct importation of produce, seafood, and meats from Honduras to Cayman. If that is something which we can succeed in doing, we believe it will increase the quality, freshness of the produce and meats that we get in Cayman, and at a significantly reduced cost, avoiding the need for the goods first to be shipped to Miami and then back down. We discussed the possibility, very exciting possibility, of partnership in respect of undersea cable, improving the connectivity of both countries to places in the region, and particularly Miami. We discussed the upcoming Caribbean Week of Agriculture, and I'm delighted to say that the President has agreed that a delegation from the Republic of Honduras will attend. That's this very exciting event, hosted for the first time by an overseas territory and in the Cayman Islands in October of this year. We also discussed the possibility of extending or improving the visa offices and arrangements that we have in Honduras, and also discussed the possible further development of the Honduras consulate in Cayman, or honorary consulate in Cayman. So generally, I think we've had a very useful discussion. We've made arrangements for the development of a number of working groups to take these initiatives forward, and we expect that there will be very soon, and I mean very soon, another visit by government officials from Cayman to Honduras, and a reciprocal visit as well, so that we can start to move this to the level of technical discussions and not just overarching policy considerations. I'm delighted at how quickly we are building this relationship between the Republic of Honduras and the Cayman Islands, and I believe there is a great deal of potential for the development of business and trade relations between these two islands. The Cayman Islands, although we have a population of only about 6 to 1,000 people, we host 2.5 million people here a year as tourists, and so it is a not insignificant market, and therefore is attractive to a number of regional partners, and we are delighted that we have been able to get this far with the discussions with the Republic of Honduras, and I see nothing but good and a great deal of positive developments over the course of the next few months and into the future. I will now invite President Hernandez to address you. He'll do so in Spanish through an interpreter.
Es un enorme gusto estar aquí
It's a great honor to be here today
con nuestra delegación y
With-
saber que estamos
with my
iniciando
delegation and to know they are initiating
una relación estratégica de ganar-ganar.
a strategic relation where everybody will be a gain.
Es impresionante cómo estamos de cerca en el Caribe
It's amazing to see that we are very close
y
in the
cómo
Caribbean
podemos ayudarnos mutuamente.
and to see how we can help each other.
Premier, estoy muy optimista de lo que hemos conversado el día de hoy.
Premier, I am very optimistic about what we spoke today.
Esperamos estar pronto en la Feria de la Agricultura para el Caribe
I am almost certain that my delegation will be coming to the Caribbean conference.
y antes de esa fecha poder traer al sector privado y al sector público a reunirse nuevamente aquí con ustedes.
And I'm hoping that for that particular conference, I will bring my team, the private sector and the public sector, to be here.
Estoy seguro que los productores agrícolas hondureños
I am certain that the producers in Honduras
y todo nuestro país
and our country
podremos contribuir a que ustedes tengan una comida mucho más fresca, de alta calidad y
we
mucho
are
más
going
cómoda.
to contribute, and my country will be contributing to bring fresh food to the country that you can offer.
Y si bien la población permanente es un número que ustedes podrían considerar no tan grande,
I know that the population is not that big,
pero estoy seguro que con toda la capacidad y el nombre que ya tienen ustedes, vendrán más y más turistas.
and the population might be a little bit the problem, but I am certain that you guys are going to be working, that you will bring more tourists to the island.
Hemos encontrado solo cariño y respeto por Honduras aquí.
We only found that you have provided us, give us respect and love.
Y nosotros queremos ser recíprocos con ustedes.
And that appreciation, we would like to do it the same way as you have done to us.
De tal manera que lo que hemos discutido hoy será en el futuro una relación muy estrecha, muy sólida,
And what we discuss here today is going to be a good conversation and going to produce good results.
y también, si me lo permiten, quisiera enviar un saludo a muchos hondureños que están aquí en Gran Caimán.
And at this time, sir, with your permission, I would like to express my gratitude and my hello to my people from Honduras.
Y decirles que también los estaremos esperando en Honduras y que en el cercano futuro
To tell you that we will be waiting for you in Honduras.
Estaremos viendo una relación de mucho crecimiento para ambas naciones.
And as I say, in the near future, we are going to grow from strength to strength.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, folks. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I'll take a quick couple of questions before we have to scoot off to the airport.
Thank you. Andrel Harris with Radio Cayman. So really and truly, my first question is actually directed towards the president of Honduras, Mr. Hernandez. First off, how
Mi
exactly
primera pregunta
will
será para el presidente Hernández.
Honduras be benefiting in this relationship? The premier here said that we have a lot to gain. What exactly is Honduras gaining from this?
Entonces la pregunta sería,
Vendiendo
como
nuestros
dijo,
productos.
what are we going to gain? We are going to gain by sending our product.
Y también creo que Caimán representa una ventana muy importante para todo el mercado del Caribe.
And he believes that the Cayman Islands can benefit as well by providing opportunities for the other Caribbean islands.
Y queremos hacer un trabajo en conjunto.
And we want to work joint. We want to work together.
And now to you, Premier McLaughlin.
A usted, señor presidente.
Thanks.
El premier.
How soon of a timeline are we talking about? I know that during my first interview with Minister Carcano, it was expressed that you guys wanted this expedited, but how soon of a timeline are we looking at here to see these things actually develop into fruition?
Very soon. As you would have noted, it was only 2 weeks ago we were in Roatan, the Deputy Premier and myself, and 2 weeks later, the President of the Republic of Honduras is here. And we are already now talking about two more visits, one either way, before we actually have the Caribbean Week of Agriculture, which begins on the 24th of October, at which time we expect and we hope that the Republic of Honduras will send a substantial delegation. So we are moving very, very swiftly because we believe there is a lot of opportunities here for both countries. On the one hand, the sale of their products, as the President has said, and on our end, better quality, fresher, cheaper food products.
Joe Avery, Cayman 27. I was just curious about the increased airlift. I'm very interested if you could expound a little bit on what the hopes may be for a direct route to Roatan.
Well, you want to deal with that?
I'm quite happy to take that question. Thank you, Joe. We look at it as an opportunity for both the Cayman Islands and for the Republic of Honduras. We now have some capacity, and we also have a hub that is being set up here. So we look at moving people from Honduras to let them take advantage of connectivity on Cayman Airways to Kingston, Jamaica, to Miami, to New York. And we also look at the dual destination aspect. Honduras is growing in the European market, and they're having more and more direct flights from Europe into Honduras itself. So in our marketing plan, if we have to find the easiest way for people to travel from Europe into Grand Cayman to develop and mature that product. So we're investigating and looking at how those routes create connectivity for us here. It's something that we want to look at. Obviously, Cayman Airways management went down there and met, as has been said by the Honorable President and the Honorable Premier. We're looking at the framework from a government standpoint to set these things up and then let private sector and our statutory authorities use that framework to benefit both countries.
Gentlemen, I've heard some chatter online with people worried about, negotiating something that's already something that we have access to, which is the fish in the waters between us and Honduras. Will this impact local fishing in any way, or that you can see, especially when you can import things from Honduras way cheaper than you can pay to than you can get it locally?
Joel, let me try to put to death that myth which has been floating around on the on social media now for a couple of weeks. The the international rights, the international division, the line between what is the territorial waters of the Republic of Honduras and the Cayman Islands has been settled. There is no issue, there is no dispute, there are no fishing disputes that we are aware of between the Cayman Islands and the Republic of Honduras. The ones that remain undemarcated are the lines between us and Cuba and us and Jamaica. So as far as we are aware, Honduran fishermen are fishing in either international waters or in their own territorial waters. They are not in the territorial waters of the Cayman Islands. So I've seen that myth floating around on certain social media sites, but it's a complete and absolute myth.
Okay, just time for one more question.
Ralph Lewis, Caymanian Times. Mr. Premier, there currently is a visa requirement for individuals traveling from Honduras to Cayman. Will that be revisited? And would the Honduras side be implementing a visa requirement for Caymanians? Would that sort of situation be looked at?
Well, I'll let the president deal with the Honduras side. I won't purport to speak for him. But we did discuss the issue of the visa regime that is currently in place for Honduran nationals traveling to the Cayman Islands. We have one office there. Obviously, if, as we hope, there will be increased traffic between the two islands, we'll have to look at capacity issues with respect to whether that office can, and its location as well, because where it is does pose logistical issues for those who live in other places like San Pedro Sula and further afield. So we will look at all of those things. As far as lifting the regime, I said to the president that that is a national security issue, and one that we'd have to look at very carefully, and one which would also involve the United Kingdom in that discussion, because it is a national security issue, and Her Excellency the Governor still has responsibility constitutionally for matters involving national security. But it is something we will talk about.
Mr. Ruiz, can you repeat the question to the president, please?
Lo entendí. I get it. Estamos
We are
Estamos en las conversaciones precisamente
session
de crecimiento en nuestra relación
to strengthen our relationship,
y sin duda alguna ese tema tenemos que conversar.
and without doubt, we are going to speak about that.
Y de hecho lo conversamos ya, ustedes tienen un procedimiento especial
And we spoke about that.
Pero
We
en
have
base-
special procedures.
al volumen y a la reciprocidad.
And
Estoy
that's the
seguro que en el cercano futuro estaremos buscando soluciones.
And that's it basically in the volume of people traveling.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.